Let's go. We're making it. We're making it. Guido, welcome back. Let me see. Also. Previewing. Yes, I know. Oh my god, that's complicated. Give me 1 second. This is no previewing. Okay. Almost. Wait, they changed everything. Wait, that they changed everything. They changed everything. They changed everything. How can I? Hello. Sorry, I was complaining about Twitch. Okay. We are. Wait, that I have to. Yeah, I hear you. Where do I hear you? Yeah, I hear myself on your stream. Wait, that I have to. I want to get you. Where are you going to be? Here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so much. Oh, hello. I'm sorry, I don't know what you heard, but my chat is doing things. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, good. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's terrible. I think I hear you only from my. I hear you only for your stream.
Okay, this would work now.
Try to talk again.
Test. I'm speaking. Can you hear me?
Yes, but I hear you double. Why do I hear you double? Wait, now this is so complicated. Oh my god, this is incredibly difficult. Control audio via OBS. Okay, so they should hear you. And if I do, I think everything is gonna work. No, just, yeah, they definitely hear you. Okay,
Yay.
I just have to fix this because you're going out from my PC too, so.
Oh, I see.
The struggle. Twitch, let's make a collaboration easy. Oh wait, also yep. Twitch. Monitor off. It's monitor off.
Twitch is like, here, we made this great feature for you.
Yeah,
it's gonna be so good.
It's gonna be
perfect.
It's gonna be incredible. Okay. Oh, I made it. Nice.
Yay! This is so cool.
Let's go. People, we have Bella on stream, and I'm on. Okay, amazing. Hi. Thank you so much for having me. So nice.
Oh my god, yes. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so excited.
I forgot the camera. I'm also going to turn on the camera, so you're going to see my tired face. Because I'm tired.
I can relate. I feel this a lot.
My God. So wait.
This is so cool. Okay, I definitely feel like there's a lot of like little intricate things to figure out how this works, but once it's going, it's very good and very
Yes.
cool. So thank you, Twitch, sort of.
Yeah. It's good if you have time, like to organize things before
Yeah.
you have
Yes.
time. I'll
Yay! Oh
show
my God,
up
cool.
here. Let's go.
Look,
Hello. I don't know
we
why
did
I
it.
have this frame. I shouldn't have this frame, but I don't know. My camera is doing things.
It's doing
So
something. It's at
yeah,
least working. Oh, this is
yeah.
so cool. Okay, I am going to make you. You've fallen into my little trap, my sneaky little trap. I am. I'm going
Oh
to
my
make you.
God.
I'm going to make you, even if you haven't read any of these books,
Yeah.
I am going to gently, with kindness, it's a trap, so sorry. I
Okay.
am
No
going
worries.
to make you change one of the books on my tier list. So
Ooh.
even if you don't know any of these, I will force you to make a decision anyways. You are allowed to move any one of these books to any tier. So if y'all haven't seen this tier list yet, I have a tier list on my stream of popular books that are potentially overhyped. So either they absolutely deserve all the hype that they have, or maybe they don't. Who can say?
Okay.
We can say. We're deciding now. So you get to choose. You can break some hearts with this. That's okay. You have all the power, but you have to move one book somewhere.
Okay. One book somewhere. Wait, that I'm looking at them. So from the one that you have still to put in place, or also from the one
Yes.
that you already put
Oh, from any of them.
from
So the
any of
ones that
them.
we have up on the list already are ones that some people in chat today, or also we were looking at this yesterday, people have moved. But there's no guarantee that once someone puts something up here, it stays. They can be moved all over the
Okay.
place. So you can look at this list and be like, actually, no, change that book that someone thought was S tier. No.
Okay, okay. Then I'm going with because I saw it. I saw it as soon as you. It was the first one.
Uh-huh.
This how you lose the time war. For
Yes.
me, it's an S.
S?
It's a tire S for me. I loved it.
Okay. Perfect. I'm really glad that you said that because I agree. Like I think that it is S tier for me as well. And when we were okay, which obviously these are opinions. Everyone has different opinions.
Of course.
um but when we were talking about it, I think yesterday I was talking about this book a little bit, and the reason that some people think it might be good in A tier is that it's sort of specific. Like some people like might not, it has a very specific style of writing that maybe not everyone loves.
Yeah.
But I think too bad. It's S tier. It's a perfect book.
It's a really good book. Also because I remember I read it, I think 1 or maybe 2 years ago. Now, time goes, it's a little bit blurry, but like I love the veil of mystery that it had for the entire book. So all the pages, there was also always this layer of mystery. It was really nice,
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I feel like
Glad I helped.
I also like I loved the yeah, I loved like not like sometimes when I recommend that book, I tell people that they should read it and allow themselves to not understand exactly what's going on and to
Yeah.
just be okay with that and like enjoy the story anyways. And I think if you allow your like I think it is the kind of book where if you're super caught up on like what does this mean? Where are we? Who are we? Like you might struggle, but
Yeah.
I think like if you let go of that, it's such an incredible book.
Totally agree. I really enjoyed it.
I love that
And I
one.
remember that like for the at least the 50% of the book I was like, okay, what's going on? And I wasn't
Yeah.
I had so many questions. But
Yeah.
I trust the book and you
Yep.
You should just keep trusting.
Yep. Just stop asking your questions and enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're going to discover.
Yeah.
And
Oh
if you
my
still
god, that's
have
so good.
questions, you can chat about the book with some other people
Yeah.
that read the book. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, and it is such a good one to like I think that one in particular in incited or like inspired so many good book discussions. Like I
Yes.
think whenever I talk to other people about it, we end up having really interesting conversations and really interesting like different thoughts on like what different things meant, which is very fun.
Yeah, totally agree.
Oh, yeah. So, Ellie, thank you so much for joining us. I am so
You're
happy that you're
welcome.
here. This is so cool. We are doing some also hi Ellie's stream. This is so
Nope.
cool. It's nice to see you all.
Okay.
We are doing some bookish trick or treat for Halloween. So if anyone at all would like to, in my channel, I have trick or treat redemptions with channel points. If anyone wants to redeem some channel points to trick or treat, we have some fun book things. And while Ellie is here, you know, we can get some assistance, some second opinions on
Yeah.
book recommendations, book things. So feel free. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
what we've got going on
Before
today.
before Sydney is going to scream at me, I'm going to redeem these. I've been
Yes.
tricked. Damn.
You've been, oh my God. Oh, I
Oh.
already tricked you, so you've been double tricked.
This feel like a scam. I'm joking.
Now I feel bad for double tricking you, but
No, that's okay. That's okay. I like a
oh
challenge.
well.
No worries. I've been tricked. I have to tell Bella where to move one of the book. Ah, okay, okay, that's it. Feel free to judge the book for its cover, and but act fast. Ah, I had only 3 minutes. Damn.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that was the
I
challenge.
okay, don't anyone tell that I said this, but I have jokingly threatened my chat that if you don't move a book within 3 minutes, I'm timing you out, but I won't actually do
For
it.
three
But don't
minutes.
tell them I said that.
I
I
like
just
it.
like a little pressure, a
Yeah,
fun little
no.
trick.
I mean, sometimes they deserve it.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit. We love you. We love you so much. But nice. I love this tire list. I was
I've been
reading.
having a really fun time with it.
Yeah, I can imagine. There are some really good books in it. Still reading all the titles.
It's tough because not all of I haven't read all of them,
Mm-hmm.
which I think was what's fun about doing it on stream because then there's like other people who have read some.
Yeah.
Um, but like it's so like there's so many that
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. I have to say that I agree. For until now, from what I see, sorry, definitely agree with a lot of
oh,
things on it.
nice.
Mm-mm.
That makes this hard then probably.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Do I have to move another book, or we're going to skip
Yes,
it? Ah,
one
okay. Oh
more
my
book.
god.
But
Oh.
as a thank you for falling for my trick twice, I will
Mm-hmm.
also give you a treat. So that feels fair, right?
Okay, and sorry, 3 minutes are almost over. I didn't understood. I'm sorry. I'm going with. Okay, see, Sydney is going to comment this choice, but I'm going with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and for me it's a
Ooh,
Ness because I loved the entire series so much.
nice. I haven't read that one.
You have, oh
Um,
my god, that's wow.
but
I
seeing
love
it
it.
on S tier makes me feel a little bit like I need to read it.
I mean, personal opinion, I really loved it so much.
Okay.
The third book, Chef Kiss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good to so something that I sometimes fear with book series is that like the first book will be really strong and
Yeah.
then follow-up books aren't as strong. And that's like a thing that makes me super nervous about starting a series with multiple books is like, am I going to love the first book and then like fall off? You know, like is it gonna
Sure.
make me mad?
Yeah.
So it's really cool to hear someone say not just that a book is good or that a series is good, but that like a not the first one is solid.
Yeah. No, that was really good. It's also true
Incredible.
that
And no, so far no one has any big problems with your choices. So it feels like
good.
people so far agree.
I'm happy about it. I'm really happy about it.
Yeah, we have a pretty solid tier list. Okay, as a treat, I would
Hmm.
love, because you deserve it, because I accidentally
Thank you.
picked you twice.
Thank you. I appreciate.
I would love to give you a treat, which is a Halloween book recommendation from me.
Yes.
So, my question for you is, do you have any like specific types of books that you do or do not like, or genres that you usually like, or anything like that?
That's a tricky question. I'm gonna count it for three. No, I'm joking. But okay, I have to say that I don't really enjoy like the strong horror. Like if we're
Okay.
talking about Halloween and like creepy recommendation, I will go with something a little bit more thriller maybe.
Okay.
So, but I trust you. Honestly,
Okay.
I'm curious
Okay,
what you're going to
incredible.
suggest.
Let me take a look at my list and see what I think you might like. Let me think. I have a, okay. Hmm. Okay. I'm thinking more thriller, not super deep horror. Let's see. Hmm. Okay. I think I might want to recommend to you. Let me remind myself. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. I am going to recommend The Guest List by Lucy Foley. So
Mm-hmm.
it is fiction, contemporary, thriller, and mystery are the tags that it has on Storygraph.
Nice.
Um, and it is very like it's like the whodunit style book. Like everyone shows up on this island and then someone's dead. Who did
Oh,
it? What happened? Like kind of unraveling that.
yes.
But a thing, so it has like some, I don't think that this would be considered a horror book because it's not, it doesn't have those like classic horror elements. And
Yeah.
although there's some like creepiness of like, is there an evil person in our midst? Like is there someone evil who's gonna kill again? You know, like there are some like
No.
kind of horror elements. It's way more suspense and thriller and mystery and not horror. So definitely would recommend. And a thing that I specifically remember loving about this book, it's been a little while since I read it. I read it in 2021. So it's been a
Okay.
minute. But a thing that really stuck with me about this book and that I still think of very often is that the setting, like the physical setting where this book
Mm-hmm.
takes place, is so well described and well developed. And I felt like I was there. And it was really, really cool. Like the atmosphere was just really, really good and really engrossing. And I really enjoyed it. So I think you might enjoy it. If you think like a mystery thriller type of deal
Yes.
might be fun for you, yeah, I think you'd like this.
I'm taking notes. I'm going to save your list.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
For example, oh no, okay, you have it in your TBR. Okay, because I was looking at all the books that you have here on the list, and
Yeah.
I heard about a lot of them. A lot of them are in my TBR, but there's
Yeah.
one that I read and that I honestly finished like less than 1 week ago, and then I
Ooh,
really liked
which
it.
one?
But you still have it in the TBR.
Wait, which one is it? Because I'll bump it up on my list. I'm
It's
excited.
The Whispering Dark.
Okay, this is so this I was hoping to finish this book this month because this is the one I think this was the book pick for Lily's
Yes,
like Dark Academia book club.
exactly.
And so I I read the book last month, I think, for that book club, and I
Okay.
was really impressed. And so I was immediately like, okay, I would probably read anything that Lily picks.
Yeah.
But I sort of like ran out of time, and I wasn't sure if I would. I've been going back and forth of should I try to read The Whispering Dark in November, or should I just sort of wait for a later time? But now I'm feeling like maybe I should read it.
For
Maybe I should
example,
read it now.
yeah. For example, it touches some topics. Like there are some elements that I usually don't like, but that in this book were managed so good that I had no problems with them.
Oh, I love that.
So
I love when a
it was
book
really good.
makes you not necessarily change your mind, but like put away your
Yeah,
bias or your negative
exactly.
feelings about something. Oh,
Yeah. So I
okay.
was super
All right.
surprised. Mm-mm.
All right. I'll have to read that next month then. I will not wait. I will read it immediately.
I changed my I changed your TBR. Proud of it.
Yeah. I was talking about this I think a little bit yesterday. I love like researching and finding books that I'm interested in reading and like making lists of books based on what I don't know, like influencers say or like the internet or whatever. But a personal recommendation, like a friend talking to
It's
me and saying, you should read this, that is like my number one thing that influences the books that I pick to read
yeah,
because it's just so much more convincing, I guess. Like if someone is saying like, "Oh, I read this and it made me like things that I didn't normally like," or like I couldn't put it down or whatever. Like that's or I read it super fast. Like that's if a friend tells me that they read a book faster than they expected to, I'm like, "Oh, immediately I need to read it."
yeah, yeah. On the pace, I totally feel you. On the okay, it was faster than expected. That's something that
Yeah.
calls me so much for a book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%. I love
yeah,
that. Thank you for trick or treating.
yeah. You're welcome. Thank you,
Also, pals,
thank you for
if
the treat. I
anyone
appreciate.
Oh my gosh, of course. You absolutely earned it. Sorry that I tricked you twice.
That's no problem.
Also, Fawn, welcome in. It's so nice to see you. If anyone wants a trick or treat, if you want to redeem or trick or treat, you can. Ellie, you are of course welcome to stay as long as you would like. If you'd like to help me with some book recommendations, if anyone tricks
Yes,
or treats, please feel free to stick around.
absolutely.
But also, if you have stuff to do, like no pressure.
I was planning to have around 1 hour, so that's
Perfect. Okay,
absolutely
great. I love that. Awesome.
yeah.
That is perfect. So, all right, pals. Now is your time. If you'd like, no pressure because we can also just talk about books we like. But if you'd like to redeem Trick or Treat, I have channel points up in my stream for Trick or Treat. Also, if you're hanging out in Ellie's stream and you want to trick or treat, if you just say that you want to trick or treat, I will redeem on your behalf and we'll find out if you get a trick or a treat.
Oh yeah,
Who knows?
yeah. I can do it. No worry. I have Bella stream open, so yes, I absolutely can. People, if you want to,
We've got you.
I have points. No worries. Lurking, it's
Oh my
useful.
gosh.
Yeah,
We
and
have I think I
Sine,
have like a cooldown on the trick or treat just because so that we have time to like
yeah.
talk about books. But people are welcome to redeem as much as they want, whatever you want. Don't be afraid. I feel like okay, you've been tricked twice now. The trick is pretty fun, right?
It's super
It's not
fun, honestly.
scary.
Absolutely fun. I like it. Also because
So
I
don't be
mean, I
afraid, anyone.
we can change your tier list. We can make a community
Yeah.
tier list. That's amazing. For example, I when you organized the raid train and you were like, oh yeah, do something bookish related. I kind of panicked. So this morning I made a readathon. I finished a book and I started one more. And in the
Yes.
meantime, I created a Google form in which I asked some Halloween bookish recommendation, and I got
I love
some
that.
that were really, really interesting.
Oh,
So
I love that. I really love like I really love I mean, like I said, I love getting book recommendations from friends, but something about hearing people's preferences for like scary books or Halloween books has also been really fun. Because I think horror, I was mentioning this earlier, I think horror is such, or like not necessarily horror, but horror, scary, thriller can be such a big genre.
yeah,
And it can be hard to find books that you like, or like hard to know like where to explore within that genre. And I don't know, I just love hearing what other people read.
so much. We have on our Discord when we talk about books. I just know that if I find like 100 messages, I know that it's the book channel because they are there talking and discussing about
Yes.
books, and I'm so proud
Yeah.
of them. So
I
yeah,
love. Also, okay, do y'all ever in your like book, channels or communities, do you ever have discussions that lead to people or that lead to you changing your mind about a book? Because I feel like lately, so or like not necessarily, how do I phrase? Lately, some of the we've so I have a monthly book club in Discord and we'll read a book together and then discuss it together.
yeah,
And lately, I've been finding that sometimes I will think a certain thing about a book, or like I will have a certain experience of a book. And then when I sort of compare notes or like talk about it with other people who have read it, um, like particularly sometimes I will think like, oh, I didn't love this about this book, or like I didn't totally get into it. But then when someone who really loved it talks about it, I'm like, actually, you know what? I loved that too. And I don't know if this happens to you or in your communities, but it's been so fun getting to like just talk about books together and hear different people's experience of books, because it literally changes. Sometimes it changes the way I experience the book too.
yeah. No, personally, like from my personal point of view, like changing. Now I'm going to give credits to someone. Changing opinions on a book, never, because I liked all the books that we read and things, because Sydney it's an amazing book club organizer. So all the picks that she does are really, really good books. Um, so personally, no, but I always liked how, like, we are always on the same way, and the community,
Yeah.
and I just remember that the first call that we did was like 5 hours or something like this,
Yes.
and I closed it and I was like, okay, we spent 5 hours talking about books. Nice,
Yeah.
nice. So for being the
Oh
first
my
one, it
god,
was
yeah.
really, yeah, super interesting.
I love that. Yeah, I think I've had that happen a few times too, particularly where like I feel like we can get so caught up in the like things that you didn't notice that someone else noticed about a book, even if
So much.
we're all on the same page and we all liked it. Like we have 100% had calls that last so long because we're like, okay, cool, yeah, like good discussion, good conversation, and then someone is like, wait, but also can we talk about this thing that happened?
So
And I
many
love when
times.
that happens.
Yeah, yeah, that's something.
Oh,
That's something that happens. That sometimes, like personally, I there are some things in a book that maybe I lost, that maybe I'm reading and I had the moment in which I'm a little bit more distracted, and these are all things that comes back in the call. So
yes.
that's super useful. I
Yeah. Or
really,
like sometimes I think like if I read a book, like with book club in particular, we like in my group at least, we will often read at also apricot, welcome in. We'll often read at like different paces, and it's like read at your own pace at your own time
yeah,
whenever you want, and then meet up and discuss them together. And I think it's so like it's interesting how like sometimes I will read a book at the beginning of the month and so it's like less fresh in my mind, and then maybe someone read it like right before, like they finished it like a day or two before book club discussion. And it's so funny how even just like a couple of weeks can change the way that you
Yes,
think about a book or the way that you remember a book. And like I've had it happen before where someone, or even me, where like sometimes right after I finish a book, I'm like, I'm not so sure about this, or like, I don't know how I feel about this yet. But then after a few days or like a week, I'm like, okay, now I know exactly how I feel, or like I
yes.
develop stronger feelings. Um, and it's just always really fun to compare those perspectives based on how much time you had to like sit with the book.
Definitely. That's why, for example, I started that's how I do. I don't know if you write reviews of the book that you read, but I guess
Sometimes, yeah,
yes,
like
okay.
yeah, not every single book, but I try to because it helps me keep my thoughts.
Yeah.
Um, but not every single one.
Okay. For example, that's a tactic that I developed exactly from what you were saying, like that you finish a book and you have some sort of feelings, and then some time passed, and maybe you still think about the book that you read, and like your thoughts developed a little bit. So the thing that I do is that I write the first idea, the first impressions that I have of the book on my bullet journal, but then I wait sometimes before writing down the review and publishing it on Storygraph and Goodreads, because in this way I know that I can have a review that is not just emotional, but it's also like
Yeah.
reflected. So that's
Yeah.
something that helped me so much also to remember the books, because you think about the book that you read a little bit longer, you just don't finish, write a review and then you start to read something else, so you still have the
Yeah.
time to think, and I also noticed that I remember them better. So
That's smart. I might copy that and try that as well cuz I find
feel free.
like sometimes if I write a review too quickly, I it will just be not my full thoughts. Like I get so emotionally swayed by endings in books that I will almost forget about the rest of the book. I'll
Yeah,
only be thinking about the ending.
yeah,
But
and
like I hate when sometimes I finish a book and I can't wait. Like I have to read another book. And I find sometimes when I don't take a moment to just like let my brain be like, okay, what did I just read? It flies right out of my head.
yeah, exactly.
So
And
I
like,
like that tactic.
I mean, I know that I can't remember all the books perfectly that I read in my life, also because we read a lot. So
Yeah.
but still, it's always, sometimes I think, like for example today I was on Goodreads and I was scrolling down because I'm rereading a book, so I was scrolling down to check when I read it the last time, and I saw some books that I remember I read, but then I thought about them and I was like, wait, what was this about?
Yeah.
And I'm feeling bad because I read them. I know that I put effort in them, but still sometimes, and this is why reviews for me
Yeah.
they help, because I know that I thought about the reviews that I write
Yeah.
that I wrote.
Yeah, and I find
Yeah,
if I write a pretty solid, well thought out review, when I go back and read my own review, those thoughts come right back to me and like I
yeah,
can remember it again. And so it's like it's helpful because I'm documenting my thoughts, but it's also like if I ever want to go back, like with stuff like this, I love getting to recommend books to people, but sometimes like do you ever have sometimes I'll have a friend be like, "Hey, do you know of any books that I might like that are like this genre?" And I'll be like, "Oh yeah, let me look through my Storygraph
exactly.
and I'll look at all of the books that I've read." And that thing will happen where I'm like, "Well, I read this and I rated it 4 stars, so I must have liked it. But why? What did I what did I like
Yeah,
about it? I don't know." And like I just don't have I like don't remember a
yeah,
lot.
sure.
Um but the books where I'm like, "Oh, I read this, but I don't really remember what did I write in my review?" And particularly the reviews where I have some like random offhand comment like Like, I feel like I've had reviews where I've made comments where I'm like, I can't explain it, but I want this character to be my mom. You know, like, it's just some random out of pocket thing. And when I read that in my review, I'm like, oh, yes, it's this book. This is
This
what it
makes
was
sense.
like. This is how I felt reading it. This is what all my thoughts were. Like, it all comes flooding back. Um, and like, it's one of those things where, like, if I force myself to write reviews immediately, I don't always capture my full thoughts and I don't always have like a good, solid, thorough review. But if I don't ever write reviews, it's gone. It's like out of
Yeah.
my brain.
Yeah, it's gone. Totally. Mm-mm. Also,
There's just
hi,
too many
Russ.
things to keep in my brain.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, we have a life. So yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to trick you. Sorry,
Okay,
because
that's fair.
I have I have a question that I like to do, that I like to
Okay.
ask people, because I grow up with everyone asking like the first question, oh, what's your favorite in something? And
Yes.
I find it so difficult because I don't know
Yeah.
about you, but I can't have a favorite book.
Yeah. It's too much pressure.
It's too much pressure, exactly. Like my favorite shelf on Goodreads is like at least more than 10 books. So
Yeah.
I can answer your question. So I started to ask, what's the first book that you will suggest to someone? What's the book that you feel like everyone should read?
Oh, this is a good one. This is a really good one.
No
I
pressure,
like
of
the way that
course.
you've explained this. I know. I like the way that you've explained this because I think sometimes, hi lab, sometimes when people ask that, like, what's your favorite book question, my go to is often, like, I usually have a go to, right? Because I agree, I can't pick one favorite book, but I've had like a default because there's a favorite book in my favorites that I like reread often and it's like universally loved, and it's The Hunger Games.
Mm,
But I don't know. Like, I mean, I would recommend that to people, sure, but I don't like. I feel like if someone is like, "What's a book that you recommend?" I'm not going to say, "Oh, have you read The Hunger Games?" Because I don't really think people need that to be recommended to them. Like, it's
exactly.
there already. Like, people know it.
Yeah.
Um, and so, oh God, this is okay.
No, you can take your time. That's no harm. That's no pressure. That's no
It's
hurry.
like a
Also, hi,
good
love.
question.
Yeah.
Right on time. You are right on time. You're this perfect time to join.
Yep.
I think the book that I would say, and I've actually talked about it a little bit today because it's incidentally on my Halloween book recommendations
Mm,
list,
okay.
is Our Wives Under the Sea by
Okay.
Julia Armfield. Let me find it on my. Oh yeah, Our Wives Under the Sea, Julia Armfield. Um, it is categorized as horror, which means it won't be for everyone, and I understand that.
Okay.
However, this book is not a horror book. And what I
Okay.
mean by that is it has horror. It absolutely has horror for sure. But this is a love story. It is
Oh.
about love. Like, this book is about love in like the best and worst and hardest and most deep ways, if that makes sense. And reading this book, like, I felt like my heart grew and then also broke. And then also this book changed me. Um, like, I love this book, and I think that everyone should read it because it will force you to confront how scary but also powerful but also incredible love can be, which I know is like a big thing. Like, I know I'm making like these big huge claims about a silly little book, but like, this book, yeah, I would recommend this to everyone. And I know that it's a little scary, but you have to push past that because I think that it is a good representation of like how scary the big unknown of like really truly loving someone is. And that
Wow.
is my answer.
That's a golden answer. Honestly.
I know it's like
Wow.
so big, but
Yeah.
I think this book deserves that.
But for example, you used one word that for me it's so important. You said that that book changed you. And I'm sure that when I ask someone, okay, what's the book that you will suggest to someone, they are going to suggest, because I also do that. They are going to suggest a book that they change that changed them.
Yeah.
And you did it. I do it. So I'm sure
Yeah.
that I'm sure that Sydney too, because Sydney, for example, it's writing that Frankenstein. That's the one that I finished
Yes.
today. I'm sure that
Yeah.
that book changed her,
Yeah.
because if it didn't, she wouldn't talk about it in this way.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
the
feel like
power of
the
books.
yeah, and like books that are so big to you that like they change your mind or they like stick with you. Like this is a book that I think about frequently, and I read it about a year ago, but I still think about it all the time. Like there are moments, like certain things remind me of this book, and there are moments where I'm just like pulled right back to reading it, and like that is really special and really powerful, and not every single book can do that.
No, definitely not. That was a
I
good
love that
answer.
book.
These
Wait, okay,
goes
do you have an
right.
answer?
I have an answer. I
I
have
want to know
an
what yours
answer,
is.
but I'm going to make a disclaimer. My answer has many trigger warnings in it.
Fair.
Uh, my answer is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood.
Ooh,
Is the first book that I reread because I needed to do it. I usually don't reread books.
yeah,
That one,
yeah,
yes. It changed me so it changed me completely, and it made me see things in another way, and it scared me. And that's something that, in my opinion, we have to. Everyone should read it.
yeah.
I'm
That's a
convinced that,
really good answer too.
yeah, I'm convinced that there should be a book. I don't want to say mandatory because I don't like the idea of books being mandatory in schools, but there
Yeah,
should be, if like in the if the a school system in Italy could be good, things that is not, but, and maybe have a system of a list of high recommended books to read, to like form the person, to to educate the person, that should be in, of course, for
yeah,
an age, an appropriate age. So like last
yeah,
year of high school, that here it's around the 17 18 years old, because it's
yeah.
strong. It's a super strong book, but I liked it so much. I have so many post-its in it. So yeah.
Oh, I love when a book makes like I'm usually I think because I mean, when I was in like high school and college, I was forced to take so many notes on books that I feel like as an adult, I'm a lot less inclined to do it. Like I'm sort of like I just don't take notes in books as much. I have been putting like stickers, like little sticky
Yeah.
tabs almost in books to remind myself of places, but as an adult, I am way less likely to like literally physically write in a book. Um, but there have been a small number of books in the last couple of years that I have been forced by my
Okay.
strong feelings to like underline or like write a quick little note or highlight in the book. And like if a book is it makes my brain turned so much like on that I have to write in it, it's a sign of a really impactful book for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Totally
I actually
understand.
haven't read The Handmaid's Tale, and it's one that I have. It's like one of those books that like I know that I need to read, and I know that I should read, and I know vaguely what the story is, but I'm intimidated by it. But
Yeah. No.
I think it probably should be a little intimidating, and it's one of those books that like you should read anyways,
Yeah. The
because like
thing.
it's big. It's got a lot of it's like a big social commentary, right? Like it's kind of I think it's got a lot of like not necessarily real life well, hopefully not real life
No.
parallels, but like things that you should would teach you things about real life
Yeah.
kind of deal.
Yeah. I think. Okay. Now, of course, without doing spoilers, of course. But I think we are not that far. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think that, at least for now, the things in the book are going to happen, but the mentality that in the book led to those things happening, it's already here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
the thing that makes you switch to the
Yeah.
to okay, you know, I should think about
Yeah.
that. I should think about this. So yeah.
Sometimes I feel like this is how I feel a little bit about the Hunger Games,
Yeah,
where like
also.
obviously that's not going to happen,
Yeah.
but
But
the mentality of the leaders in the book is obviously inspired by real life, and I think like those types of books that are fiction but that force you to like really confront the reality
yeah,
and flaws of society are so important, because I think it can be really hard for people to, like, I don't know, like the people that are like, watch out everyone, like this is what's bad about society and politics. Like it's so easy to ignore that because it sounds alarmist and extremist oftentimes, but sometimes when you see it in fiction and you allow yourself to accept that it's fiction, but then your brain starts being like, hey, wait a minute,
wait,
that's how
i
you
already
learn.
i already see this. There's
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that like, wait, this is supposed to be fiction, why does this remind me a little bit too
Yeah,
much of,
exactly.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I think that's how people, like, I think like, that can be how books change people. Like fiction can change people's minds and like help people learn and see things. Like that's why in schools you read, I mean, I'm sure in school you also read a lot of nonfiction, but you read a lot of fiction because you can learn so much from it. Anyways.
For example, in your school now, I don't remember in which level of education you are right now, if you're out, if you are doing something. So
I'm already graduated, but I have a bachelor's, so I did like a
okay.
4-year university in the United
Okay.
States.
Here in university, you read because you have to study. So if you take
Mm-hmm.
a book, it's because you have to study. In high school, instead, there is the will for some, um, for some by some professor. So like only few of them wants to try to make students read books. So there is like, okay, the monthly books or things like this. Um, I remember that for example, I started to read only when I started to like to read. So to read because I wanted to. I was 14 years old. I'm ashamed of this, okay? But because school never made me love it. And so
Yeah.
I remember that I was so sad when I saw my favorite professor, that was my Italian literature language professor, that gave up on making us read. That was sad
Yeah.
because we were
Yeah.
16 at the time, and she just gave up because no one was reading the books.
Yeah.
It's it's so sad if you think about it, because I
Yeah.
can understand that life is busy, of course, mainly for a high schooler, because high school it's always so full of
Yeah.
things to do. But it's reading. It opens your mind.
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
really.
And I feel like there's often like a cliche almost of like high school English teachers being the teachers that like help kids through difficult times by like suggesting a book, or like English class, or I mean English for me,
Yeah, of course.
whatever language, but
Yeah.
like your language class where you're doing a lot of reading, being the class that can help younger people through challenging times because of books. And like not every person experiences that, and not every person enjoys reading at various stages of their life, but like for sure when I was young, books really were a support system for me and were an opportunity for me to feel like, you know, accepted and appreciated and loved at times in my life that I didn't always feel that in real life. And it's true that, like, whether or not you read can be due to a bunch of things, right? Like, not everyone has the same access to books, not everyone's families value reading in the same way, not and everyone has different experiences in school, but like, I think school should be that one thing that everyone has in common that makes reading accessible, inviting, and desirable, because like you said, having access to reading, pursuing reading, can be such a huge opportunity for growth and for comfort for people of all ages. And like, I think it should be something that everyone universally has access to
Yeah,
through school,
yeah,
which is really hard, but
that's a big topic. No, I'm totally agree with you. But as Sine said in your chat, books in Italy are so underrated.
yeah.
So yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
it's
the
really interesting
statistic.
the different cultures.
Yeah, I saw some statistics, and like, no, I don't want to say something wrong, but like um the uh, the media, no, I don't know how to say it in English, like the quantity of book in all the country read in 1 year was like under than 8 for Italy.
Wow.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine? Like,
that's wild.
yeah, that's low. That's absolutely
Yeah.
low. Yeah,
Yeah. And like, I remember seeing a so I read a lot, and I feel like I am in a lot of communities of people who read. Um and I feel like I have a certain amount of bias to like think that everyone reads, which isn't
yeah,
true, but like in my, you know what I mean, because those are the communities I'm in. But I remember seeing a statistic, and I do not remember the numbers, but I remember seeing a statistic that was like, it was like a poll of adults in the US on how many books they read in the last year. And the options were like 0 books, or like 1 to 5 books, or like 10 to 20 books, or more than that, something like that. And over 50% of adults said 0 books. And that's like, everyone's different. And I know reading, like, there's so much baked into whether or not we read and how we read. Like, it is a discussion about accessibility. Like, different people need different forms of books. Some people need audiobooks or large print books or whatever, and they don't always have that, which changes things. And some people do not have access to books because it costs money, and
cost.
because, like, in the US, and I think that the US has probably one of the best library systems, and our
Yeah,
system of libraries throughout the country isn't great. And there are plenty of places where people do not have access to a library at all, which means they literally might not have access to books at all. The end. So there's a lot more to this. And I think that when you think about or look at a statistic like that, of like the majority of people reading 0 books, it's not always because people don't want to read. Like,
yeah,
anyways, this is a big caveat. I think it's important to remember the accessibility issue. However, I think that there's a huge number of adults in the US that do have access to books but choose not to read. And I think it is at least in part because of the, like, not feeling the value of books from a young age. And anyways, like, I think there are a lot of people who read books as adults in the United States, but it makes me sad for all of the people who just straight up don't read.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel you. Also,
It's just
for
interesting to
example,
think about.
yeah, you in chat I had someone that wrote before you said it, even if the US has a great libraries. So what you were saying,
Yeah.
yeah,
Which, like, yeah, the US does. I think from, like, I don't know the statistics, but compared to a lot of other places, the US does have really good library systems. But like, I don't know, like, earlier this year, I think there was a big issue in, I want to say, New York. Like New York public libraries had to close branches for an entire day of the week because they were no longer getting enough funding to pay
Oh,
staff to like keep the libraries open. And I don't know if that's been changed. I didn't keep up on this. I don't live in New York, so I don't have the updated information, but I remember that getting a lot of attention because like if you think about it, some people I think the day that they had to close was like a Sunday or something. I don't remember
okay.
why, but like some people can only get to the library one day of the week, and like library hours are already pretty reduced in a lot of places, and if you work jobs, like if you work a lot, like that means that that's just not possible for you. And I have like big thoughts about libraries.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Like libraries are
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
most important mm, part,
Yeah.
like no space of the society. You know, if
Yep. Yes,
absolutely.
because it's not just books for fun, it's also like access to information. And if you are
Yeah,
listening right now and you don't have a library card, but you have a library in your area, go get a library
go.
card right now. Anyways.
Yeah, do definitely.
Oh my gosh. I
Mm,
am so sorry that I turned our well, I actually no, I think we can share joint responsibility for turning
yeah,
our cozy little Halloween trick or treat book discussion
yeah.
into
That was
everyone read and go support your local library.
that was a good message to spread.
Yes. Yes.
But you have an amazing activity that is trick or treat. So
Yes.
remember people to redeem also my chat.
Yes.
People from
If
my
y'all are
chat.
hanging out and
Come
you'd
on.
like to trick or treat, feel free to. I have trick or treating through channel points. I think it's like 100 channel points, which you should be able to get relatively quickly if you don't already have them. And I have tricks or treats. You never know which one you're gonna get until you redeem. And we can do a quick little bookish trick or treat.
Yeah. I mean, I've been tricked twice. People from my chat go. Uh,
Yeah, come trick or treat.
yeah.
Come redeem your trick or treat.
Otherwise, now I'm going to be the mean streamer. Otherwise, no gaming tonight.
Uh oh. You've all been tricked, actually.
Yeah, yeah, you did.
I promise the trick is not that tricky. We promise. It's like very fun and fine.
Oh, I have a question for you in my chat.
Hmm.
Guido is asking, are the American libraries affected by the book bans in schools?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So book bans can happen for like their most book bans have been a big issue, I'm sure everywhere, but in the US in particular, there's been a lot of like targeted um groups trying to ban books, often about often books that have queer representation, that that feature something that people are calling critical race theory, which literally just means the truth about racism. But some entities like try to question it. Anyways, that's where a lot of book banning is coming from. Typically, the bans target school systems and try to remove books from school libraries, but these entities are also targeting, can also target like city libraries. And it's different from place to place, but there have been entire like cities who have removed certain books from their like city libraries. So yes, short answer is yes, that these book bans can target regular libraries as well. It's more common in children's or like school libraries because a lot of the language that they use about banning is about protecting children, but they will argue that for regular libraries as well. And if you live in the United States, find out what entities are trying to ban books in your local library, find out how they were trying to do that, and advocate for the books that they are trying to ban. So oftentimes entities will bring up book ban suggestions in like city hall meetings and stuff like that. You can go to and you can literally say, actually, I read this book and I highly recommend it for children. I highly recommend it for people because it's good and educational. You can write letters to your local libraries and say, hi, I saw that this book is like that there's a motion up to ban this book. Here's why I think it should not be banned. And librarians can use your account to help fight a book ban. So yes, I know that I gave so much more information to
Wow.
your one small question, but yeah.
No, that's wild. I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay, now you made me question if I'm just not informed of what is happening in Italy. But I don't think in Italy we have this thing of banning books.
Yeah, I'm
So
not
I'm like,
sure. I feel
oh,
like
wow.
I think it can. I mean, obviously, of course, it could happen internationally. I definitely haven't heard it as an issue as much. Um,
No.
but it is one of those things, right, where like so this is often coming from like right-wing conservative like political agendas in the United States, and people with those political agendas exist in most other countries as well. And so if this is a thing that's happening in the United States, it'll probably, if it isn't already, it'll probably happen in other places too. And it's like all the more of a reason to support local libraries and like just keep an eye on what's going on there. But I think for the most part, I've only heard of it as a major issue in the United States.
Yeah.
And it's definitely because of like the current political climate, as they say.
Yeah. I
Yeah, it's
don't.
not
This
good.
is.
It's pretty bad. Book bans are
Yeah.
bad.
No. Wow. That's for example something that we had this conversation I think with Sydney on our stream. That's a strong opinion. I know it. I drop it. I take responsibility. I don't think that um, culture in general should be banned, and I
Yeah,
mean and I mean e- every like I don't want to say wrong things, so I'm going to use another example. For example, if I'm against a party, a political party, that doesn't mean that I don't follow, not follow, but that I don't keep an eye on, example, their social media account, because I can
yeah,
I can't be against something if I'm not educated on it,
yeah,
and if I can't read
yeah.
or if I can't check, I can't be educated. So then
I
I
think
know that there are
also,
problems, but
yes, yes. I completely agree, and I think like yeah, I think that banning or removing information of any sort from places is a bad route, um because like it there's no there's no way to like only remove the bad stuff. Like if you start to remove certain information or certain culture or certain groups, that it leads to like everyone being at risk. Like there's not, you can't just remove one thing.
yeah,
um
sadly,
and so like yeah, yes, banning of information, book banning in general is bad. I think it's also like, I don't know, I think it's important to know that like at children's libraries it is reasonable to have sorry, my cats startled me. uh, it is reasonable to have, you know, rules about what type of information can be there. And like on the internet, on sites where children have access to a website, like yeah, like you can set rules for like what information is allowed shared in certain spaces, but that's less about, you know, something being banned and more about different spaces having different rules.
yeah,
And like a thing that like frustrates me with book bans in the United States that particularly are targeted at like creating like making places safer for children is that like it's never about the safety of children, and like the arguments fall apart so immediately. And anyways, I'm sure I'm rambling on this,
no,
but
I'm
like
following. It's
yeah,
super interesting because I'm not. I mean, I'm not in the situation, so it's insightful. That's why I love this kind of conversation,
yeah,
and which
yeah, like being against banning books in general means that yes, there will be books in libraries that I do not agree with and that I don't think people should read.
Yeah,
But I that doesn't mean that I think that they shouldn't exist or shouldn't be there. I think that everything should be accessible to everyone. And the better thing to do is to arm people with more and more information rather than restrict the
yeah,
information that they have access to. Because if you have access, sure, to like books with maybe harmful views, but you also have access to books with more thorough views, it'll even out. That's
yeah,
what I firmly believe.
yeah. You can balance. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love how Sydney redeemed the drink and the from me and the
Oh,
hydrate from you.
yeah, yeah. Like, absolutely, you will both be hydrated or else.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
Holy.
that was super interesting.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, everyone go read a banned book.
Yeah. Oh, what's a band book, for example?
Ooh, there's a good one that I read recently ish that's fantasy that has been getting a lot of attention over the last year or so that has been banned frequently, which is Legendborn by Tracy Dion. It is
Legendborn?
fantasy. Yes, it's yeah, Legendborn, one word. Oh,
Yeah,
let me
yeah. No,
look it up.
I know. I was like, oh my god, that's banned.
Yes, it has been basically this is like a really great example of a book that is being banned for clearly just an absolute nonsense reason. Like you cannot even like it doesn't even make sense. But people have said that this book is basically, oh my god, I like literally hate even saying this because it's like so objectively incorrect. Basically, people have said that this book is like anti-white racist, which is not a thing. Just to be so clear, that isn't a thing.
Oh,
Um, the main character in this book is black, and her experience of her culture and her roots and her ties to um like her ancestors are a central focus of this book and are explored, and it does include mention and like exploration of like the history of racism in the United States, including slavery, um which is like a real proven thing that happened. Like there's no arguing that. It's literally just history, which is so horrible. But like the people have basically tried to ban this for including that in part of the book as like a thing that makes people feel bad for being white, which is absurd. Like, oh, it grinds my gears. It makes me so mad. This book is really really good. Genuinely, just like regardless of this terrible book ban take, it is an incredible book. But it is so incredible to see a book that is really wonderful, has an incredible main character, um, and see an honest and like real exploration of the ways that the like really horrible history in the United States can impact generations. So it's a great book, really really good book. 100% do recommend. Um, but yeah, this one is being people have tried to ban this book. So anywhere you see it, make sure you keep spreading the word that it's good. It should be there.
I didn't read
Yeah.
it, but I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I will never expect that something like this. That's wild.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. Yeah, and like it literally makes no sense, like the argument, and like there have been some shared like literally scanned in documents of the people who have tried to ban this book, like writing their explanation for why, and like you look at it and you read it and you're like, you have got to be kidding me. Like it is total nonsense. um and just like it's like people trying to erase the dark parts of American history, and
Yeah.
that is absurd. That's absurd.
Wow.
But I recommend this book. It's great. Definitely read it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's an example of one that people have been trying to ban a lot lately that is like objectively just like an absurd reason. Just an absurd reason.
I'm I'm going to close the stream and I'm gonna still thinking about this.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. We
Also,
did
hi
have a trick or
Shan.
treat though.
Yes, we do, and I'm curious because
Sydney was tricked, which means you have to, Sydney, I hope you can see this, but you you are required to move one of the books on our tier list to somewhere else on the tier list. So what that means is we've got a whole bunch of books on this tier list. You can move, there are some that have already been put on the tier list somewhere. You can move any of those. So if you think they belong somewhere else, you can change where they are. But there are also some books at the very bottom that you can put onto the tier list if you'd like. If you have any questions about what any of the books are, let us know. And you don't have to base your opinion on fact. You say whatever you want. You're in control and we can't stop you. But Ellie and I can have opinions on your opinion. Hi Sage. We're trick-or-treating today. Also, hi Ohm, welcome in. Hi pals. Thanks for trick-or-treating. Nice.
let's go, Pine.
Another trick.
Proud of you.
CK Pineapple, you also same to you. You are required to move one of these books to somewhere else on our list. No one can stop you. We like whatever you say goes. You tell us what book to move and then we can just you know, we can just have opinions on that. I feel like we're at an interesting point where I want to hear everyone's wildest takes. Like I'm ready to hear your wrong opinions.
I was I was expecting what Pineapple said. I wanted to make a joke before he wrote it.
Can I make Hunger Games something higher than S tier? Incredible. Also, I am so sorry for the timing, but we might hit an ad break in my channel. Sorry. So if you stop seeing our screen, I don't know, you'll just have to go over to Ellie's stream and we'll keep talking for a bit longer. Oh
You
my
know what?
gosh.
I'm going to ask you if you can share your screen.
Oh
Also
yes, that's such a good idea.
I can also put it because I can't, but you should be able.
Oh, easy.
So I can move you somewhere else. Like I can put you here on my
I need to change
panels.
I need to change how my... Oh, I know what I need to do.
Thank you so much for the follow. Do I have to move one already on the list? Hello. Loopy, welcome in here.
Do you see it? Did it work?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Nope.
I clicked share.
No, now yes.
But I don't know if it...
I just had to... It's Twitch. Don't ask too many things to Twitch.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of like a bazillion different things to hit.
Yeah, I'm adding so many sources that I'm gonna have to remove everything. It's gonna be such a mess.
I was thinking about that too. Like, how do we? What's the easiest way to close everything down after
My
this?
obvious, it's such a mess. Okay, so now they see. I'm sorry, I'm going to cover Sammy. People, my chat don't hate me. Okay.
He'll be back.
My layout is a puzzle right now. So chaotic.
Oh my god, I love this. Okay, can I move a little life to X just because that one doesn't appeal to me? Yeah, maybe I should have made X haven't read and won't read. I will allow it. For today, let's imagine that X is haven't read and won't read. And I also Sydney, I think you're so valid for that because I won't I won't read that either. Every like I think that it baffles me when people recommend that book because everyone's always like it'll ruin your life and make you cry. You have to read it. And it's like I don't know. Like I'm down for a book that will make me cry, but I, this one doesn't seem like the kind of crying that I want to do. No, I don't
No,
know.
I understand. Totally.
I don't know. I'm afraid of that one. I think you're right for this take. um Pineapple, do I have to move the ones already on the list or can I add a book? So you can only the books that are like that exist on this screen. Um I'm because I'm not adding any additional books to the tier list. However, there are all of the books up top are placed already. You can move any of them. You can change the tier that they're in. But there's also a bunch of books at the very bottom that aren't in our tier list yet. And these you can add into the tier if you would like. You don't have to. I preferred Little Life as a play. It worked so much better than the book. Oh, I honestly didn't know it was a play. But that
Same.
sounds interesting. I feel like I would enjoy that. I
Didn't
think
know.
the book would just ruin me.
Yeah. And then I mean, it's a big book. That's
Oh it's also huge. Like a massive huge book and it'll emotionally wreck me. Like say one good thing about it, please.
that sounded like I dare you.
Yeah. Hello. Any a little life lovers in either chat because you need to speak up now. I have not read It Ends With Us. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, wait, I'm curious to know how many how long is that? Oh, wait, this isn't what I want. 816 pages. No.
Hmm.
No, that's too much.
I thought more, to be honest.
Yeah. I think in my head I imagined it as like a 1,000
Yeah,
page book.
1000
Also,
same.
yay, I see your stream again.
Yeah, I'm back.
We are so back.
OBS tried to crash again as soon as I clicked go live, but that's another
No.
thing.
Obvious, please. We promise we'll be good.
Come on.
I wonder which controversial book take OBS had a problem with then.
Oh,
Which
right. Oh,
controversial book take was
maybe.
OBS like, absolutely not, take it back? Oh my god, I love it. Okay. I think we did both of our tricks. Thank y'all for redeeming your trick or treats. It Ends With Us is fully marketed as a romance, but it is the only Colleen Hoover book that does not glorify DV, only because it's inspired by her mom. All her other books glorify abusive and manipulative men and see them as interesting. Okay. So it's maybe like an issue with Colleen Hoover in general. Interesting. Yeah, I think I probably would not read Colleen Hoover in general. I think she is a controversial author.
Yeah.
But I have heard a lot of people do really like that book, and some people think that it's a good exploration or a good story. So, yeah.
It's
Wait,
not.
Sydney suggested
It's,
something earlier,
yeah.
and Ellie ignored.
Because I
Uh-oh,
was
this is a
listening.
call out.
No, okay, no. This. My chat knows. My chat knows that I read all the messages, but I read only some of them out loud because my brain goes too fast. So
Same.
I didn't ignore them. I was still thinking
uh,
about it. So I didn't.
Understood.
But now I'm going to let Sydney writing what she brought in my chat.
Yeah, what's the suggestion? I'm curious. an issue with Colleen Hoover. She's defending. Oh, yeah, that's right. I had heard that Colleen Hoover's son did something very questionable, and she was like, defend. Yeah, no. No. Nope. Nope. All right, Colleen Hoover's a no for me. Sorry.
No. Same.
Oh, Ellie has a tarot deck. You have oracle decks. Read a card to. Oh, yes. I'm down for
Okay,
that.
let's go.
I'm down for that. Do you want to close out our stream together moment with a tarot/oracle card
Yeah, I like it.
trade?
I like
Okay,
it.
perfect. Okay,
Nice.
I have a couple different decks.
Oh,
No,
I have
I'm
only
gonna read
one.
you an oracle card.
Okay,
I'm
go.
not gonna make you. I'm not gonna make you / allow you to pick. I know what one I want to use.
I
You
have
have a deck
deck.
Ellie loves. Oh wait, which deck? Which deck do I have that you love?
I don't know. Which deck do you have?
I love
Sydney.
Sydney. Sydney's just like secretly our producer, just like controlling all of this. She's like, hang on, no, I got it.
Wait.
I'm in charge.
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's the one that I was planning to use.
Is
Yeah.
it the prism one?
Yeah, the
Okay.
Prism Oracle one.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love this one. I will absolutely pull a card for you.
Fine, that's the wrong chat.
Oop.
Oops.
I need a Sydney command next. No, you're so good. You don't have to apologize. I love that so much.
I thought you did it on purpose.
I need to get one in my chat, apparently. The command will say, hello, everyone say hello and thank you to Sydney, our secret person pulling all the strings.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Aw, I appreciate you so much. It's always such a pleasure to see you in chat.
Sydney, it's precious.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah, how do it's
I
better?
think-
Sorry, I didn't know it. You could tell me. Okay.
What?
No, sorry, my chat that said that the
Oh.
audio wasn't best.
Oh.
People, that's the thing. We streamer, we don't hear our audio, so you have to tell us if the audio is
Yeah.
not working. Don't be scared of being like, oh, your audio is not working.
I literally start every stream sounding like an annoying boss in a Zoom meeting, like, hello, can everyone hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Because sometimes, like, one of these times, you won't be able to. So,
Yeah.
okay, I have a card for you.
Okay. I still have to.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, because I still have to.
Okay, perfect.
Mix.
Okay, I pulled a card. Also, this is gonna be mirrored in my stream, but it shouldn't be yours, so oh well, it'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm pulling a card, or have pulled a card, from my Prism Oracle deck, which is an Oracle deck. Each card has a different color and associated word, and I really like these cards for like sort of maybe a check on what kind of energy we might have today, or maybe something that you need to focus on, like something that you should try to bring into your life, something like that. So the card that we got is this one. It's like a nice light but still solid pink color, and it has art of what looks to me like a heart-shaped lollipop. And the word on the card is sweetness. The word is sweetness, which is actually, now that I think about it, I didn't think about it until this second, but for Halloween is so perfect.
Perfect.
Like sweet Halloween candy. I didn't even think about that, but it's really good. And the deck has a
Nice.
little guidebook that helps interpret the card. So here's what it says about sweetness. This card is a signal to savor the sweet moments in life and to remember them when things get rough. The small things in life are often the sweetest, but they can easily go unnoticed. Sweetness is always there if you look for it.
Oh, that's so nice.
I like that one a lot.
Oh. Wait, I'm going to.
I hope you
fix
have
the
some
microphone.
small things to savor coming your way soon.
Let's see. I hope. I can think about something.
Yeah.
That's
And I think that's a nice reminder too, that like a small thing to savor doesn't necessarily like a sweet thing to savor or a thing to be appreciative doesn't necessarily have to be like some big thing that you've got going on. It literally could just be a small sweet thing that
Yeah,
happens, you know? I like
yeah,
that reminder.
definitely. I like it so much. I have, okay, this is my first and only deck that I brought it
I'm excited.
this year, I think, at a fair. And I decided that not for my birthday because my birthday passed, but for Christmas I'm going to buy a new one. And I think I'm going to
Nice.
take
Yes.
tarots still. But the one that I have is one that just called me so much because I'm a real big feminist, and I don't know if you see it. It's
Yes.
it's a
Oh,
hurt woman
cool.
tarot. It, I love them. Like the illustrations are so good.
I love
So
that box. That's so pretty.
I'm going to. Do you have a number? I usually ask people if they have a way in which they want me to get their card.
Ooh.
So like if you have a number or something.
Yeah. What about 8? I feel like I always use the number 8.
Okay,
Is
from
that helpful?
top, bottom, half top or half
Um,
bottom?
from the bottom. From the
From the
bottom.
bottom.
Yeah.
4, 5,
Now I'm nervous.
7, 8. This is the behind of the card. That it's really really
Oh,
nice.
that's so pretty. I
And
really like that.
this is the card. I'm sorry, my camera it's really messy because it's not the nice one.
Oh, cool.
And this is the Ten of Pentacles. That of course I don't
10 of
remember because
Pentacles.
I still didn't like draw all the cards. I still have some
No,
cards
same.
that
I always have to look up
I
tarot. I'm
never.
like, I don't, cool, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, let's discover. But we have the Ten of Pentacles, and this is super nice. I'm sorry for the microphone. This is super nice
Okay.
because it gives you like three keywords and then the description of the card. So the three keywords are satisfaction, legacy, and financial stability. And an old woman looks over her shoulder with her family. They play happily in the grass with pentacles surrounding them, signifying their abundance and wealth. Behind them is a castle, another side of their great financial position. The old woman is satisfied that she has provided a wonderful life to her family through her hard work. The appearance of the Ten of Pentacles suggests that you have achieved some financial success. Everything that you have put effort into has paid off, and you should feel a sense of pride and achievement in what you have accomplished. It might be the right time to provide for others, make an investment, or just look at how far you've come. You have created a solid foundation to build a sustainable future.
Okay, that's so affirming.
Let's go. Yeah, I
That's
love how.
so funny. Like I literally this morning I was feeling sad as one does of like, oh, like, what am I doing? Like what does success mean to me? Like I literally this morning was thinking about the concept of success and like if I am on that track and how to measure success and what that means. And it's so like I feel like this so frequently happens when I look at tarot decks or whatever it is that like the thing that I have been thinking about or worrying on shows up. And
Yeah,
so it's very funny and interesting seeing that show up because that was exactly a thing that I've been thinking about and worrying on recently. So,
it's
thank you.
always cards talks. So
Yeah.
cards
Mhm.
talk. So yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
That was so nice.
Oh my gosh, yeah, thank you so like I know also for y'all this was very last minute. I have been
Yeah,
planning to stream today at this time, but having a pal join me was a last minute thing and I like this was so smooth and easy and cozy
yeah.
and it was so much fun to get to chat with you and to get to trick you. I'll be honest, that was fun too. Uh
I had fun. I'm going to admit it. I had fun. That was nice.
Yay! Thank you so much for
Thank
joining,
you.
and thank you for participating in my bookish trick or treating. Thank all of your chat for participating and hanging out as well. Yeah, thank you for
Thank you
being
so
here.
much for having me. It was really, really nice.
Yeah.
And it's easy, kind of. If
Yeah.
your hobbyist doesn't
Mostly
crash,
easy.
it's easy.
Yeah.
So let's do it again. Okay.
Perfect. Let's do it again. All right, I'm gonna
Let's see.
hang up, and I will talk to you, I'm sure, very soon.
Yes. Thank you so
Also,
much.
drink water. Ha 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 ha.
I'll
ha.
do.
Last
I'll
trick
do.
of the day.
Thank you so much for having me. You all are so nice. Bye.
You too. Bye.